We are joined today by His Excellency Pavan Kapoor, India's ambassador to the UAE. Thanks so much for joining us. So we are marking International Day of Yoga today. What does this day mean for India, and what prompted it to be recognized in 2015?
Well, no, absolutely, Mikhail. This is the 7th International Day of Yoga. We actually we marked it and celebrated it yesterday because Monday is a working day here in Abu Dhabi. But what really, it was actually an initiative we took in 2014 at the UN. And India decided that this is an ancient science that, came out from our country, and we thought we would like to share its benefits with everyone else. It is practiced already all over the world, but we thought we'd try and institutionalize its celebration. So we moved a resolution at the UN in 2014, and that received overwhelming support of countries, and that's how we began to mark June 21, or the summer solstice, as the International Day of Yoga. So that's where it really all started.
And this year, I think International Day of Yoga really takes on additional meaning. We are coming out of the pandemic. The pandemic, of course, had grave impacts on mental health, on physical health. So how is it being marked, and how do you see it coming into play as part of maybe the pandemic recovery?
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. I think it's a very critical component to help us recover. In fact, that's why the theme for this year's International Day of Yoga is Yoga for Wellness. So really focus very much on the mental health as well as physical health. So it's, because people have realized that physically many have been scarred by the pandemic, but certainly in a very big way, even the mental health of a lot of people have been impacted. And here I say even for children, who've not been able to access school or their friends, often this gets overlooked, but the kind of stresses they have gone through are also something which are fairly serious. Plus the long-term, effects of COVID are still unknown. We keep hearing more and more research coming about other problems. The emotional stress of people dealing with many of these issues. So all of these, there are yoga practices, asanas, etc., which help relieve this kind of stress. And so I think it becomes all the more important. The fact that you are restricted from going out, well, in many places, these restrictions are still there. In many places, they're easing up. You can practice yoga from the comfort of your homes. You can use technology like we're using today to learn yoga. So there are, various ways in which there's no real restrictions coming on you, and you can still practice it and benefit from it, both physically and for your mental health.
So what kind of events are expected on the 21st? Are we going to have a large yoga practice, socially distanced, of course?
Well, like I said, we decided to advance the marking of it a little bit by doing these events actually yesterday, because given that it was a Saturday. So we did, unlike last year when we couldn't do virtually anything because the pandemic was really raging, we had only online events. This year we started by opening out. So we did a hybrid event here in Abu Dhabi with about 100 people. This was with full physical distancing, full COVID protocols. Everyone was fully vaccinated, had 48-hour PCR certificates. And we had Sheikh Nayan, the Honorable Minister for Tolerance and Coexistence, who came to our event last evening. And we were very pleased that we could do that. But we, of course, did it online also so that we could get many, many more people to listen in and benefit. So we had a session on laughter yoga, to ease things up and tell people how just laughing, gets the muscles, particularly in the abdomen, moving and, releases stress. We had other forms of yoga. We had an actual yoga protocol, which was a warm-up, goes into the actual asanas, or exercises, which help relieve stress and, give you some flexibility for the body and help in fitness. And also then the pranayam, or the breathing exercises, which are very important for calmness and for mental health. They help with oxygenation of the brain in various ways. They can, and even some kind of meditation, which can help you with your overall approach to life. So a whole range of events, but like I said, it was in hybrid format for about 100 people in person, and for the rest of the world online.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your time, Ambassador Pavan Kapoor.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.